Bodies, bodies, bodies. What's up, everybody? I'm Robert Sawyer.
And I'm Mrs. Sawyer.
And together, we are the only black kids in the class. And today's episode is all about body autonomy.
Oh, body autonomy. Okay.
Body autonomy.
Okay.
It's a popular topic.
Okay.
So every story, somewhere or another, deals with the human body.
Okay. I thought you were talking about like bodies, like, you know, how many bodies you got.
Whoa. We're not.
I thought no. That's the kind of
No.
podcast we were talking about. But
we're not that kind of podcast. No.
Well, I mean, we've read some crazy stories.
We have.
Some different bodies. So that's what I thought it was about.
It's just, you know what it is? I don't hate women. So that's why I don't engage in those kind of body politics.
We don't have to just read about the women's bodies.
That conversation is specifically about trying to shame women. Oh, no, not shaming women.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
You don't think so?
There's also about some men in their bodies. They got a lot of bodies too.
But the shame.
Oh, I think, yeah.
In our twisted patriarchal society, a man is usually
allowed to get away with that kind of things. Yes.
Applauded for a number of bodies.
Yes, I agree. That's still true for the majority.
The best one is if a key opens multiple locks, it's a master key. But if a lock can be opened by any key, it's a broken lock. That's what they say.
Okay.
Because the key is the penis.
I get it. I got it, but that's really stretching it out.
Stretching. That was good. But that's not what this podcast is about.
Okay.
Body autonomy.
Okay.
What does that mean to you?
I don't know. I'm still wrapping my head around it. I'm not sure where we're going with that.
Me neither.
Okay.
I've not read all these stories, nor have I read all these Ask the Black Kids.
Oh, boy.
Which, speaking of,
we have more?
We've got Ask the Black Kids.
Let's read them.
Please keep them coming. And before we get into it, I'm trying to play this podcast game now, so I'm gonna start saying the thing I need to say at every podcast. Thank you for watching. Please, if you're watching this, listening to this on Spotify or Apple, take that 3 to 10 seconds and give us that 5-star review.
5.
You can even tell us why it's so awesome or something we can improve.
Yes.
Still leave a 5-star review though.
Love all feedback.
But make it a 5-star review. You guys suck. Here's 5 stars. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Like, follow, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Catch us on all socials at Only Black Kids. Anything you want to add?
Nope. You got to get covered.
Well, there is one more thing that we should probably say every episode, which we do not.
Oh, that you're a therapist, but you're not their therapist?
It's true. Keep going.
That's true. This is for entertainment.
All right.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to just record it and we'll just use that same clip over and over again.
Oh, you got to do it really fast. Like how they do it, like those, you know, those.
I think I know your therapist.
Yeah. Like those drug commercials.
Yeah.
I thought of one name now, but I don't want to promote them, so I won't bring it up.
Okay.
The one you said is the worst name ever for a drug.
The Rizzler?
Yes. So if you think about it, it's kind of a good name because I always remember that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Good marketing.
Let's get into some Ask the Black Kids.
Let's go.
If you want us to read your letter, maybe give you some of our advice, good or bad, send it to us at asktheblackkids@gmail.com. The subject says relationship advice.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, y'all. Love the show, and I'm afraid to ask any of my friends for advice on this. I'm polyamorous, specifically a relationship anarchist. I mentioned that only for context.
Okay.
My kidneys failed 2 years ago. I've been dealing with a lot of complications from dialysis, fatigue, and the weight of getting my upcoming transplant from a friend. I go to therapy and have a great psychologist that helps on that side. But being polyamorous isn't exactly their wheelhouse. My only current partner is why I'm writing. She and I are in a long-distance relationship for 7 months now, and while at first things were going well, I've noticed a lot of issues creeping in, and I wonder if I consented to our relationship too fast. When she gets upset, she tends to interrupt me more and more, and not just upset with reactions to me. I've grown from being in a similar state when I was younger into making sure I take the extra step, the extra breath, or just wait. mostly because I've dealt with the consequences from being too hot-headed about it. I've noticed now that a lot of her boundaries she asked for as a part of our relationship agreement weren't really what she said they were.
Oh.
It seemed like reasonable requests based on our distance, but since then, without getting too deep, they seem more like her past relationship trauma manifestations. I find myself too bound in them. An example, whenever a woman is in contact with me, there is a sudden and swift categorization of them as a potential partner and a request for all manner of information on them. This includes if I show any attempt to be more than casual contact with her online friends that are women, which is so odd to me since she's openly queer herself. Recently, between the weight of my situation medically and all these issues of hers building up, I started to feel twinges of resentment and annoyance, and I know it's unhealthy. I also know that even in the best case scenario, she and I will be very hands-off for a year or more due to my transplant timeline. While she has other current partners, one new long-distance relationship partner who can travel to her and her husband, children's father, she also seems to be vetting additional partners. I suppose I could do this as well, but honestly, in my state, I would think it was unfair to them. And she tends to pout about anything that takes my time and attention away. I don't want to become bitter about it at all. And I truly do love her in the way I experience and express romantic love. But I'm frustrated by it all, and talking to her hasn't gotten us anywhere. I am in deep need of the emotional support and intimacy I get from having her in my life and want to save things. So I ask, any ideas?
Wow. That's a lot one there. Having, my grandfather had dialysis for like a long time, and just the fatigue alone that she's talking about, it's intense, right? So that alone, and then having, I really hope everything goes well with the transplant, but all of that, that's very heavy. And this relationship, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it's just not the right time for certain things. I don't know if she has the energy to.
Who?
The one that wrote to us.
Not a she.
I thought you said it was.
Never said that at all.
Oh, I did.
No.
You didn't say it?
No.
Oh.
It's not a she.
They.
It's a he.
Oh. Well, I hope he has, I don't think he has the energy for all of this extra stuff. It seems like a very jealous person, right? And I think focus on getting better and going through that part. And if they're not going to be there to support you when you need that kind of support, then I don't know if you can continue to go through that.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not comparing the two, but like sometimes opportunities come and it's like, man, I can't miss this opportunity. I have to do it because it's now. But sometimes life is just not where you have the ability to really give it your all there. And so by taking on some opportunities, you actually do worse than not. And I just feel like I feel they love them. And if the relationship is worth anything, having that conversation that I just don't see how they have energy to even deal with that.
A relationship anarchist. I understand that.
Yeah.
Especially the way society deems relationships. You're in need of the support and intimacy you get from having her in your life. But with that support and intimacy, you mentioned that you're poly. I would never say that I'm a poly expert, but I've had many, many poly clients. And I'm curious about the boundaries you guys set as a poly couple, because she has another long distance relationship. She has her husband. And she's vetting
seeking new ones,
new partners. But if you start talking to someone, it's an issue. That doesn't sound too poly. It sounds like Polly wants her cake and eat it too. So with that emotional intimacy that you get, I'm wondering if there's some need that you're feeling to keep the connection, keep the relationship, especially knowing that over this next year, there's going to be more distance, not just physical, but, just your energy and being able to do it and making sure you can keep her attention. The issue isn't that you're poly. The issue isn't the way you view relationships. It really sounds to me that the issue is the way, based on what you've written, the issue is the way she views relationships. And as long as she is entertained, as long as the attention is on her, everything is fine. Good.
Yeah.
And when it's not, that's where you're seeing this kind of swift to get upset.
Right.
So then the question to ask is, you want the emotional intimacy that she brings to your life. With that, you also get the consequence of, for lack of a better word, jealousy.
Yeah.
If you want the emotional intimacy more than you do not want the jealousy, then keep going the way you are. If the jealousy is too much, you're taking the good with the bad.
I mean, ultimately, it's whatever they decide is of what the most important. I would just err on prioritizing your strength. What appears to be support sometimes really isn't. It becomes another task.
Yeah.
And
I want to echo what you said, because I read this letter before, and when it came in, the first thing I thought was, oh, but do you have the energy, I don't even just mean physical energy.
Right.
I mean mental energy, emotional energy to put into that, because your health went on dialysis, and it takes so much out of you. So much. Days of recovery.
So they're on dialysis.
Before you go right back.
They're on dialysis now, going through that, right? Which to me, dialysis is one of the most barbaric thing that I cannot believe they haven't found something better for than that, right? So they're going through that now, and with anticipation of a kidney transplant. Mm-hmm. Like that's some real heavy thing. So, not to minimize the love and affection they have for this relationship, but it just might not be, you may not have the bandwidth to give it its all for that type of person.
I remember learning about the difference between capability and capacity.
Yeah.
And when I understand, I'm capable of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But my capacity to do all that stuff at the same time.
Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a clear thing to tell you. I think it's just with what we know. That's the tough part about just reading the letters. It kind of just stops there. Mm-hmm. With what we know, I would, if I take this, I also have to take this. Mm-hmm. So if I get this emotional support from her, I also got to take what seems to be fairly her-sided.
Yeah, it's not just jealousy though. It's almost like possessiveness. Like
she's got to catch them all.
Yeah. So I don't know what's there. And again, I don't want to read more into it then, because we're just making assumptions at this point. But I wouldn't imagine that's you have a mental space or capacity for at the moment.
One thing I will tell you that may not be as related. You mentioned that you have your psychologist who poly relationships are not in their wheelhouse. I don't know that your one therapist has to answer everything in your life. I will just say, and this is more based on friends of mine who have told me things they haven't told their therapist. You may be surprised at how capable your therapist is at understanding and providing some kind of guidance. And also, is this a therapist for you if you're unable to talk about relevant issues in your life? They might have helped you get to a certain point, and maybe that was the season with them, and maybe it's time to find someone that is better able to help your holistic life. That's
fair. I think people kind of I find the same thing like with doctors, right? I know they're all like specialists in certain things, but sometimes they're there to get you to like they've like outgrown their benefit, right? Especially like if you have like older doctors, like I have doctors that I have had my whole life. My mom had, right? So they know, like, you're like, oh, that's a good thing. They know my family history and this sort of thing, right? Well, they're also not in the know of like new modern things, like new things that may be not necessarily better, but just may be different. They're not used to that, which is nothing against them. That's just a different type, right? So then, like, fortunately, I have doctors enough to where, I've discussed it with them, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just not really. I'm reading all these other things. I also am going to research myself, and I'm finding some stuff here, and they're like, oh, I'm not really versed in that. I've heard of X, Y, Z, but here's a specialist that I think that is really good for you if you want to pursue that.
That's a competent care provider.
Correct, because I think it's nothing. It's nothing like bad on them. It's not like a reflection that they're not able to do their job, because they are, but they just aren't in the know of all. So I think that discussion, I think you bring a good point that there should be that kind of conversation.
I would add on to that. You don't always know what they know.
Correct.
So if you came to me for the things I say I do, couples counseling and trauma work, great. But nowhere will you see, I don't advertise that I have studied financial therapy.
There you go.
I love the love of financial therapy.
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with those kind of issues, imagine you're like, Robert's cool, but I got to leave him. I need to go work on it. Little did you know.
Yeah.
That's what Robert does on his weekends. Yeah. Or the referral that I would make saying, this is outside of my expertise. Let me refer you to someone that is an expert on it. Good luck. There's another Ask the Black Kids. This one I have not read.
Okay.
I said I got to start vetting these. But.
You did.
Hello. I love y'all's podcast, and I feel like y'all give great advice, so I wanted to reach out and get some feedback.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for laughing at my ex?
Laughing at her. Okay.
I feel like I'm terminally single. Recently, I was in a relationship, and it ended pretty rough. I don't feel like what I did was unforgivable. Randomly, at the start of the relationship, I called my friend to laugh about men who wear thongs. Hey, no judgments, but I just find it funny when they do. I just was scrolling my socials, saw something funny, and wanted him to laugh too. He did a little bit and said he would never wear a thong. It would not look good on him. Me thinking that we were on shits and giggles tells him I think he would look great. Zoom out to a month later, he has ordered a thong from Temu because he wanted to surprise me with my fantasy. Honestly, I fell out laughing hysterically. I thought he was joking. I did not know he was serious. He dumped me that night.
Oh my gosh.
Was it really that bad to laugh?
Oh, ooh. I don't think it was bad to laugh, but
Wait, didn't we read a story?
we did. That's but
wasn't it the same thing?
The girlfriend ordered one online, and he was like, because he wanted her to wear a thong all the time, and she's like, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So she ordered him one so he could feel how uncomfortable it feels, and he got upset.
Okay,
but they didn't break up. But this one is, he doesn't take a joke.
It's incredible to me.
That's crazy.
That he was ego-less enough to want to fulfill what he thought was your fantasy, and then ego-full enough that when you laughed, relationship's over.
That's crazy.
I don't think it was
that
bad to laugh.
I don't think so either.
But I think one part of getting a relationship to work is being able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
I do dumb shit all the time, and then we laugh at it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I laugh. And then, I've laughed before, and you've told me that's not funny. And then it's like,
I can't think of any time that's
I can't
think of one time that's happened.
I can.
Laughing about me?
Maybe.
Or laughing about you?
It was just laughing in general. I was laughing, and you said it was very recent, actually. And you said that's not funny. And then you kind of got serious, and I'm like, oh, okay.
The only purely evil thing I can think of that I disagree with you on is we were watching this movie called Eye in the Sky. This is years ago. We're in the movie theater, and spoilers. At a certain point, they're going to have to blow up this little girl. Right?
Yeah.
It's a drone. It's an army of the drones. And every empathetic human with a heart in the theater didn't want the little girl to die. But my wife was like, hey, we trying to stop these terrorists.
No. Put it in context.
She gotta go. She gotta go.
Put it in context. It was okay. They had to.
That's the only evil.
They had to order, they had to make a decision, and it was a like, I don't know, a van or something going to go blow up a whole like marketplace full of people.
Yeah.
Or they could blow it up before they got there. And the only reason why they weren't going to blow it up is because there was a little girl selling bread or something there. And it's like one girl, she was by herself, one girl versus a whole like neighborhood of people. But I mean, it sucks, but that's, you gotta call. If you're in that position, you gotta make the call.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
One or the many.
Yes.
That's not what I'm calling evil.
What are you calling evil?
The indifference. I was like, oh, this is terrible. You heard people. You heard people in the theater.
I was like,
babe, in the theater.
I was like,
I'm like, come on now.
I did say "oh" first. I said, "Oh, press the button." I stay on that.
That's evil, though.
That's not evil. That's not evil.
No, and you kind of lightening it up right now.
No, I wasn't, because it never taken so long. Oh, move, like press the button, press the button, press the button.
Nah, bro, you was kind of hype.
Yeah, press the button. They gonna get away.
The sentiment of me and everyone else in the theater was, oh no, please, maybe she can survive, maybe she can live, and you were like,
you gotta press the button.
People die every day, B. Like you were like, hey, she
I
gotta
wasn't
go.
like that. I wasn't like that.
Why you do that?
It wasn't.
Why
It
you do
wasn't
that?
like that.
That's the only genuinely like
No, I didn't.
evil thing from you. Where I'm like, that's
That
not
wasn't
funny.
evil.
You were damn near rooting for that girl to get blown up.
No, I was rooting for them not to let them go blow up the whole thing. Yeah, that's a tough decision, but you see, I could be in a position like that.
And then little kids gonna be getting blown up all around the world.
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's the only time I could think of me being like, honey, why are you so happy for them to blow her up?
I was not happy.
You're grossly revising this right now.
No, I was telling them, press the button, press the button, press the button. But it wasn't about like, oh, blow the girl up. It was press the button. She was collateral.
Damn.
That she was
I
collateral.
agree with you on what most likely needed to happen,
Yeah.
but I really cared.
I cared.
You were mostly indifferent.
But the movie wasn't about caring. The movie is about making the decision. The decision had to be made.
Okay, I would have taken more than okay, blow her up. You were like, sucks, she about to be dead in 2 minutes. I was like, oh no.
Well, I had already outweighed everything.
I'm not built like that.
I got there really
I'm not built
quickly.
like that. You are better
Make the
suited
decision. Yes.
at murdering children.
I would never murder a child. Well, that wouldn't be me. That's them with the bomb going to blow up the whole neighborhood.
Yes.
No, that wasn't me. I didn't make that happen. That was them.
They forced you to have to blow up the child.
Yeah, because they were going to go blow up the whole neighborhood.
I agree with you.
Well,
Other than that, I can't think of a time that you left. And I was like,
oh no, I have.
can't laugh at
I
that.
remember your face. You got like serious. And I'm like, whoa.
what other child were you laughing at, Harmony?
It wasn't a child. It was something about you, but you got serious.
About
I laughed
me?
at you. Yeah, I was laughing.
Huh.
And you got like all serious.
I
And
believe
I was
you.
like,
but
oh, sorry.
we laugh at me so much.
You laugh at me too. I laugh at me. We laugh at, like, we joke all the time. So I mean, please don't buy a thong from Temu. I don't
Shein?
want to participate in
I'm
that.
more of a Shein guy.
No, I don't want to participate in that. But if you did, I would totally crack up at that.
So not Temu, but like what are we thinking?
No, don't do that.
What are we thinking?
Don't do that.
I don't know who else makes these cheap
Oh,
things. So
no.
if not Temu, then where?
Don't worry about it.
I mean,
Don't
it
go
is an
searching.
episode about bodies. If you want to
Don't
reveal,
Don't go
at the end.
searching that. But I don't even. I think you would laugh too.
Was she so bad for laughing?
No,
I don't think so.
not at all.
I don't think so.
And I think that if someone broke up with you about laughing about them buying a thong and they don't normally wear a thong, then that was a relationship that wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that means
I mean, I
there's,
imagine
there's a lot of
I
sad
imagine
times
he
on the
felt
way.
vulnerable. I
Yeah.
imagine he wanted to, get sexy for his lady because
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's a huge misunderstanding. Maybe this was even over text. I don't know.
Well, he was trying to like
I don't know.
get the bow, chicka bow bow. He was like getting in the mood for it, and then she just laughed. I can understand like his ego and everything be crushed.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take that audio. You're gonna be getting ready to go to bed. I'm gonna just hit a button. You just hear it over the speakers. Bow, chicka, bow, bow. And now we're laughing at him vicariously.
Yeah, I could see.
But
him
you said that you're feeling like you're terminally single.
Oh.
I don't want that for anybody.
No, I don't want that for anybody. But
single is great when you want to be single.
Right.
If you don't want to be single,
then that kind of sucks.
Watch this. If you don't want to be single, hit up your favorite relationship coach at robertsawyer.co.
That's fair. Okay. That's an option. That's
a
resource. That's a resource. That's a resource.
What I do.
You weren't the asshole for that at all.
Nah.
No.
So let's talk about some bodies. Why don't we?
Let's get into some bodies.
Am I overreacting because my mother went topless in front of my boyfriend at the beach? I, 28-year-old female, recently visited my mother, 55-year-old female, with my boyfriend, 31-year-old male, of 7 years in her country. We decided to spend a day at the beach together with my 18-year-old half-sister. The situation became uncomfortable when my mother suddenly went topless without discussing it with us beforehand. This caught both my boyfriend and me off guard, as she has never done this when it was just us in the past. Feeling awkward, I decided to take a walk to decompress. When I returned, I informed my mother that I would move a bit away on the beach. She didn't respond. I spent the rest of the day mostly avoiding her due to my discomfort. Later that evening, my mother talked to my sister and expressed that I should be more open-minded because it's the 21st century. My sister also mentioned that a similar situation occurred with her and her boyfriend previously, and they found it equally awkward. Personally, I consider myself open-minded regarding nudity in appropriate context. However, the situation with my mother going topless in front of my boyfriend felt uncomfortable and inappropriate to both of us. What strikes me as contradictory is that my mother had previously criticized similar behavior from her sister a few years ago. The only noticeable change since then is that my mother underwent breast augmentation surgery last year.
That's why.
Am I overreacting for feeling uncomfortable about this?
No.
Should I have approached the situation differently?
No.
Few edits. Edit number 1. The beach wasn't a nude beach. It was in Bosnia. There was no one else beside my mom topless there. I also want to add that I don't mind that she was topless. I mind that my boyfriend was there. If it was just us girls, I wouldn't care that much.
Right.
Edit 2. I don't really have a close relationship with my mom because she left my country when I was 3 years old, leaving me to live with my father. I just visited her every few years. She never saw me naked past 3 years old, and I never saw her naked. And edit number 3. I talked with her and I asked her if she would be comfortable to be topless in front of her other children, 25-year-old male, and she said that she wouldn't go topless around him. When I asked her why, she said that it's inappropriate for her male kid to see her topless. Okay, so mom is full of shit.
Yeah.
Mom is the asshole. You're not overreacting because mom basically got something new and wants everybody to see.
I was gonna say I've known tons of women that have gotten breast augmentation and they want to show you.
Oh yeah.
Like they've come in my office and like lifted up their shirts and I'm
Same.
like, whoa, hello, hey.
Inappropriate.
I mean, and some, like whatever, but I think that just goes with it.
And they want you to touch it to see how soft it is.
Oh, so you were touching it?
I never did that.
Oh, okay.
I never did that.
Okay.
But they wanted you to. I never did that.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, they do want you to touch it and all kinds of things. So
see, why you act like see?
I just want to know if you had entertained it.
I don't entertain such things.
Oh, okay.
I don't entertain such things. Such shenanigans.
So yeah, I think that comes with it, but good for them for talking to their mom about it.
Yeah, but mom is...
Oh, no, mom's on something totally different. But I mean, clearly she's...
It's wrong for my son to see me.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's fine for your boyfriend to see me.
I think she actually probably wanted some attention anyways.
It's not a nude beach. See,
no,
now if it's a nude beach...
She wanted some attention, though. She wanted it from her both daughters' boyfriends. She's the
only nude person.
No, she's well, that was not the first time. The other sister said that it happened with her too. So game. That's just the mom wants some attention.
So are we calling mom a bad human?
Mom's a bad human, and you may not want to.
Does that make her a bad human?
That's bad.
Dirty game.
Yeah, that's bad. Going around just,
Bring them out. Bring them out.
yeah, no.
Am I the asshole for getting mad at my wife for having a secret abortion after I told her I didn't want kids?
Oh.
It's not all just giggles and tee-hees in this podcast.
Huh.
I have been happily married to my wife, Clara, for around 3 years now. I love this woman to pieces. I don't want to get sentimental, but she truly is my other half, and I cannot see myself with another woman, even now. Before we got married, I made my stance on children clear. I didn't want any. She agreed in the moment, and I thought that was that. About a year and a half into our marriage, she brings up the question of children again and asks me if I want kids. I say no, I don't. She hums, and we go back to doing what we were doing before. It wasn't a conversation so much as it was an odd question this time around, but I didn't think anything of it. We had a very robust sex life, but always took the necessary precautions. She has the implant, and I use a condom around 90% of the time, so I wasn't worried. Her bookshelf recently broke, so I ordered a new one. I had wanted to build it as a surprise and put her books up on it for when she came home. While going through them, I noticed an old journal of hers. I immediately smiled and flipped through it. When we were in college, she'd carry it around. It was a future planning notebook of sorts. If she wanted something in life, she'd draw it exactly what she envisioned, adding clips, the whole 9 yards, manifestation, if you will. She had shown it to me in college after declaring that she wanted to pursue her doctorate, and I remember being stunned at the attention to detail. I mean, we were only sophomores, and she knew exactly what she wanted to do, when she wanted to study, and where she would take herself. It made me feel out of depth. I liked it. I flipped through the journal, reminiscing about the past. I hadn't expected there to be any new entries, at least not anything recent that I hadn't experienced with her. But as I opened it up, I saw something I never thought I'd see. It was a section dedicated to pregnancy and baby prep. She had researched prenatal vitamins, OBGYNs in our area, had images of cradles, etc. It was only 2 pages, but I remember feeling so sick. In my head, there was only one reason she'd put that in a journal like this. She wanted kids. Naturally, I was torn up. I kept telling myself I had been upfront about what I wanted, and she hadn't. That was her fault. But the thought that she'd secretly been suffering because of me, that she was holding herself back from the life she wanted to please me, I couldn't stand it. I confronted her about it as soon as we came home, and I found out the situation was a lot worse than I thought. Clara did indeed want kids, but claimed she wanted our relationship more and was okay with compromise. I asked her a million times if she was sure. I really wanted her to be honest and not feel like she had to hold anything back. She insisted that not having children wasn't a deal breaker for her, but I kept pushing. I couldn't understand why she put something that wasn't that important to her in that journal. In the midst of our conversation, she dropped the bomb. She told me she had an abortion a year and a half ago. She offered up the information like I should have been relieved. Like it was proof she needed to convince me that she meant what she said about children not being a deal breaker. I can't describe what it felt like in the moment, what I'm still feeling. What I can say is that I have never blown up at my wife the way I did that night. I didn't put my hands on her. I would never put my hands on her, but it was not a pretty exchange. I just remember feeling hurt that she hadn't consulted me on such an important decision. That she went and had such a life-altering procedure without discussing it with me, that I didn't even effing notice that it happened. I mean, those things have side effects, right? She would have been bedridden for days afterwards in physical and emotional pain. How could I have not seen the signs? I'm still beating myself up about it. I remember her asking me if I want kids, but nothing about her emotional state for the rest of that week when she would have had the procedure done. How much can I really claim to care about her? I don't want children. I still don't. But I'd rather chew my left arm off than make her have an abortion, even more so now after she told me she isn't really against having kids the way I am. I'd happily raise a kid if it meant she didn't need to go through something so drastic. I've been staying with my sister for the last week and a half.
Wow.
I needed space to think, so I left. I wanted to see her, to ask if she's okay, but I don't know what to do or to say. I'm still unbelievably angry at her and at myself. I don't want to yell at her again. I think the first time around scared her pretty badly, and I don't want to repeat that. My sister thinks I'm being petty, punishing my wife for something I would have agreed to regardless.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have agreed. I don't know. Am I the asshole?
That's a tough situation there. But you kind of can't have your cake and eat it too.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't even think it's about the actual abortion. I think it's something that the wife didn't feel comfortable enough to talk to him about. I think that's...
I imagine the wife felt she had to make a decision.
Because
one or the other, she wouldn't be able to keep him.
Right. I get what the wife did, but I mean, still in doing so, she made her decision that she was going to do that, I would think she would still talk to him that she was going to do it.
Does she need to talk to him?
She doesn't need to. No, she doesn't need to. But then that to me also just, that to me is another little symptom in the relationship though.
So she should want to, but she does not have to.
Right.
Usually when we read these things, the person makes the other person a monster.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And this one, he mentioned several times that he feels so bad that he may be hurting her.
Correct. No, he feels bad that he made her feel that she had no choice but to do that.
Yeah.
And that's where I think, like, I'm not faulting anyone, right? And I don't think that the wife has to talk to him to make that decision. But at the same time, it seems like a decision where you would consult your spouse with, even if you already made your decision.
He didn't even know she was pregnant.
Correct. And then it was a year and a half ago, she wasn't even going to tell him.
Yeah.
Like, that's the part where it's like, that's like keeping secrets. Like, that's a huge secret.
She doesn't need to tell him. She should want to tell him, and then she should tell him that she did it.
Right.
But she doesn't need to tell him.
She doesn't have to. It's her body.
So then why would she have to tell him afterwards if she...
I guess that's how I would see it. Like, he doesn't have to agree with her decision. She doesn't have to be dependent on what he decides that she does. Mm-hmm. But like, to me, if that unity, that marriage unity is still there, then that still needs to be it still merits a discussion. So that's all I'm saying.
This is posted on Reddit. The comments ate him up. Terribly so. I'm not going to read all of them. It's just so many. But some of the key things were, one, he's known her since she was 6. They were both 6, or whatever their age difference is. She routinely would show him the journal. She knows that he reads the journal. So he says he wasn't snooping.
I thought that was kind of like rude too, that he was reading the journal.
No, he said there was like a way that he said it wasn't out of place that he would read the journal. Oh. The way he described it, it didn't seem like a snooping thing. It felt like a shared thing, but who knows?
But then at the same time, then if you would share that and have things in there about a baby, but you wouldn't talk about the abortion, that doesn't jive.
Another thing in comments said he should have gotten a vasectomy.
That's fair.
This is where there's just one line that I just really found kind of odd. I'm not discussing my reasons for not wanting kids here, but I did discuss them thoroughly with Clara before we got married. Our reasons for not wanting children were very similar based on that initial conversation, but I guess hers wavered as time went on. How that turned me into an evil dictator that refused to hear her opinions out, I'll never understand. But I guess that's Reddit for you. I didn't get a vasectomy because I am not sure that I don't want kids 10 to 15 years down the line. I am positive I don't want them at the current moment, but I'm 27. Opinions and circumstances change. That to me seems really selfish.
Yeah. I could have done without that part. Now I kind of feel,
to me,
I'm kind of losing empathy for him. Because then 10 to 15 years from now, like, that just makes it so he decides.
Like, what's your plan then?
Yeah, what is your plan? But what is the plan for her?
Hey, 15 years from now, you know what? I want kids. Oh, you can't have kids? Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm out.
That's what I'm saying. That's terrible. That to me is worse.
That makes you lose empathy?
Oh, yeah.
I tend to not lose the empathy. I just see that this person needs or is at a different level of even understanding the contradictory things that they're living with.
All right. That's the
I'm still not going to call him an asshole, but I think
there's more there, though. To me, this is a symptom.
His reasons for not wanting
this is just a
children,
symptom.
His reasons for not wanting vasectomy. I don't think they've
clearly, and here comes all the comments, I don't think they've clearly communicated their wants and needs in the area of children.
I think they did.
I don't
think
they did.
But people change.
Correct. Well, they haven't revisited the topic. Just because you said one and done, that's not it in this area. Because clearly he's saying he could change his mind in 10, 15 years.
Other people said he verbally abused her. Other people said he's a dick for leaving her for a week and a half. To which I got to say,
that's pretty ridiculous, too.
I don't understand. I'm not saying if you guys are heated, you have to stay on top of each other.
Understand that.
You have to tie yourself to each other. I'm not saying that. And I can understand space. But I don't understand this week and a half, I moved out for 3 months.
I don't understand that at all.
What is
that?
Hey, I'm angry, so
Let me move out.
A week and a half is
Ridiculous.
Is a lot to me.
I can see you be like, I'm not saying I would ever do, but I can see you going somewhere for a night to clear your head and come back, and y'all gotta like, do the work.
If you say so. Me personally, I could never.
That's not happening.
I could never.
That's not happening.
I could never.
What?
That's not happening for me.
We're gonna be moody
But
right here together.
Everyone doesn't have to be
right.
like
That's what
me.
I'm saying.
But I don't think me saying a week and a half is a lot. Is too much. Is saying you need to be like me. I think
that's excessive. What's going to change?
I get the part where maybe sometimes people think I'm so mad at you, and sometimes it's I'm so mad at me.
Right.
So I get that maybe there was some of that.
But
you got to figure that shit out, and you can figure that shit out at your house.
But to me, maybe he can't figure it out on his own, because then what happens is I think the more time there is and the more of the assumptions in the head and putting things together makes a bigger gap between the two. So you need to like go through that.
You should go to couples counseling and seek therapy individually. They're both in individual therapy. They both don't think couples counseling would be that helpful. Asking if you wanted kids was enough consult. She doesn't owe you anything. I get, because even just now, you've kind of said the two things. She doesn't have to tell him, but she should want to tell him. That's what you're saying?
To me, in a healthy relationship, you should want to have that discussion.
It becomes very odd when people are screaming at him online. I don't know why he's answering everything.
He's got the time.
Yeah, because sometimes you want the help, and sometimes you want to clarify, and sometimes your attempts to clarify make you seem stubborn. When the truth is, people don't get you just off of typing.
Or sometimes people just want validation, and they don't get it. If
you don't validate them,
correct,
it's a problem. And why aren't you agreeing with me?
That's like, it seems like a lot of defensiveness there.
I can't say. I would say it leans towards defensiveness.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Like I can staunchly stand with saying it's her body, her choice. Mm-hmm. But in the marriage, in the agreements that you've made in your marriage, it's telling to me that she doesn't even want to tell you her choice.
Right. That's the part I'm telling you. Like
I'm not saying she needs him. He hasn't fostered an openness and communication.
Correct.
To where she feels safe.
Right. It's not like she needs to talk to him for him to be okay with her decision, but I would think that would be a discussion. That's the part I'm saying. Like, what? So to me, then what else is she not discussing?
Yeah.
Like, that's the part to me. I don't foresee that going on.
So there's an update. It is incredibly long, and I'm just going to summarize it.
Okay.
He went home. They talked. Mm-hmm. They were both crying with each other. They were very open, he feels. She does not want couples counseling. He would do it if she wanted to, but he doesn't. They both don't think couples counseling is where they're at. They do not want to break up. She downplayed the importance of making that journal article. And he said he just really regretted that he's put her in a position where she feels like she can't talk to him. Honestly, even though it's from his point of view, it sounds like there is love in their relationship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it might not be as open as he thinks it is, or that they want it to be. And I would just add to that, it's always work. It's not like you take, we did work for 3 years, we're good. No, it's always work. And you vacation and take breaks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be every single second of the day. Where are we? How are we doing? It doesn't have to be like that. But it also can't be, I talked to her 7 years ago. I got to talk to her again. That's not it. That's a tough one.
Yeah, alone stuff.
And they get tougher.
Oh, boy.
Bodies. A movie I have not seen.
That's a movie?
It is.
I've never heard of that.
I also haven't seen it. So you know how I like to do things. I like to kind of mirror things. Am I the asshole for not telling my wife I got a vasectomy? Me and my wife have been discussing for years that we wanted a large family. After we had our first child, a boy, we decided to wait 2 years to have another. It's now been a little over 6 years, and it has been a roller coaster. We have completely different parenting philosophies, as she does not believe in spankings or discipline at all, for that matter. She thinks our 7-year-old, for whatever reason, is able to rationalize between right and wrong. Our biggest argument occurred last summer when our son threw a rock at a woman while we were hiking. Oof. We were above them on the trail, and it hit her right on the head to where she was bleeding so heavily, EMS had to be called. I was embarrassed and so livid that when we got back to the hotel, I snapped, pushed him on the ground, stood over him, and gave him a piece of my mind. My wife was not happy and in turn took our son, got a different hotel, and told my mother-in-law that she was contemplating on leaving me because she fears for the safety of our son. That was the only time I ever snapped at our kid, and there have been so many other times where I've wanted to. When he raised the window on our dog's head and nearly decapitated her, I had to back off. When he urinated in our neighbor's pool in front of his young daughters, I had to back off.
Oh my goodness.
We've done therapy and counseling. Needless to say, till this day, nothing has changed. I decided to bring it up in one of our counseling sessions that I was considering getting a vasectomy, and she flipped to the point where our entire ride home, she was bawling because she felt as if I was giving up on our dream of having a big family. Her argument was that I was thinking about myself and weaponizing my body as a means to enforce my ideals instead of talking to her. However, that's the thing. I've spent the last several years telling her that what we're doing with our son is not working. The gentle parenting, therapy, medication is not working. So the best thing I can do for myself at this point is not have any more children with the person who will not let me have any input when it comes to disciplining our child. So this week, I actually got the vasectomy, and my wife was unaware from the time I scheduled to the day of the operation, and I told her during breakfast. She has threatened to divorce me because, quote, she does not want to spend the rest of her life with someone who will go to such lengths to get their way. Every time we've discussed me getting a vasectomy, she said that I'm blowing things out of proportion and that having children were a part of our future. At this point, I don't even care anymore.
Oh, wow.
Is he the asshole?
Wow. Yeah. He an asshole for not, like, hey, babe, I'm getting this vasectomy today. I mean, I don't think that would change the outcome, but just go do that.
Do you remember a long time ago we were doing a podcast episode and this lady had an abortion and didn't even tell her husband for like a year and a half?
Yeah.
But she wasn't an asshole.
But it wasn't asking about her though. That was the poster. We didn't talk about her being an asshole.
So was she an asshole for getting an abortion?
And not telling her husband?
Yeah.
That's kind of assholey from a marriage perspective.
I think this is an area where dialogue is so unclear. Because you're telling me she does not need his permission.
Correct.
She does not need to check with him.
She don't need the permission.
Abortion. Okay.
Right.
She's an asshole for not telling him.
Yeah, but that's something you discuss, honey. Yes.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying we live in a world where nuance isn't really appreciated. Nuance isn't really understood.
Then I would also argue that he's a bigger asshole because that could be reversed. She terminated a pregnancy. She didn't get a hysterectomy.
I think he's an asshole, but not about the vasectomy. I think he's an asshole for his approach with his wife and his child.
Oh, I agree with that part too. But I think he's an asshole for doing it and then not telling her like the day of. Why couldn't he have that argument before?
Well, he's mentioned it.
Well, that's fair. I think he made a chance.
She said he's weaponizing his body.
Well, they both assholes though to me.
Why is she an asshole?
Well, why would he want to grow a family and they don't agree on the same parenting style? That just seems like a recipe for a disaster.
What is she supposed to do in that case?
They have to meet in the middle somewhere.
I don't think these people know how to meet.
Well, that's
because she doesn't want any discipline.
Correct.
He wants to knock the kid down and stand over.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Why are you standing over him?
There's no middle. Either I'd say, you can do whatever you want, throw rocks at people, or I've got to
kill you.
Basically.
I don't understand that either.
So I think he's the asshole because ultimately he's hands off because he's not allowed to have input. So I just don't. Somewhere there's no talking. Somewhere there's no agreement.
Agreed.
It's a lot of hypotheticals, I guess you can ask yourself. Like, well, how would we handle this? How would we handle that? But once you're in it, it might be different. But the kid is 6, about to be 7.
When's the big family coming?
But there's got to be a middle ground between, okay, you can do whatever you want, and okay, I'm gonna beat you for anything. Yeah. Like this kid.
Well, I mean, I mean, I don't know. Again, like this is all
They said
like,
the therapies,
and medication.
the therapies, the medications, but I have worked with young children, and the best indicator I have for success in working with young children is the involvement of the parents. Does he sound involved?
No,
We don't know, but I'm gonna
we
just
do
guess.
not know. But it doesn't
I'm gonna guess
sound
he's
like
not on board with all the therapies and the medications.
Or the alternative to, like the alternative discipline. What do you call it? Good parenting, light parenting. What's it called?
Gentle parenting.
Gentle parenting, whatever that is.
Whoa.
He doesn't. There's an alternative, right? To like spanking, or
But we don't.
de-escalating.
She might be a parent who says no. It must be mine. She might be a controlling parent when it comes to discipline.
It could be.
But he sounds like he's controlling, and that if it can't be my way, then it's going to be no way. I'm taking my ball home.
Well, he took his ball home.
Both of them. I know what you were trying to set up. I wasn't going to buy into that. How do I get over my wife's masturbation?
Oh, okay.
I, 34-year-old male, have always been the higher libido person between the two of us. If we could have sex every day, I'd want to. My wife, 35-year-old female, seems to be more of a responsive desire type, where I am initiating things probably 95% of the time. We probably end up having sex about 3 times a week on average. She enjoys it, and what's a healthy way to say this? Orgasms. That's not what he wrote. Every time, often multiple times.
Okay.
I don't have any reason to doubt this. And she has said how good it is often. Sounds like he needs his ego stroked a little.
A little bit.
A few months ago, I discovered my wife had gotten herself a new vibrator. She doesn't know I found it, and about a week after finding it, we had a conversation about masturbation. She said she does it maybe 1 to 2 times a week.
Oh.
At that time, I told her if she's feeling horny, I am always willing to have sex, or even go down on her and not expect anything in return. She said okay, and then we moved on. I can't get this new vibrator out of my head, though. Things I worry about in my head, why would she buy it? Am I not satisfying her? If she's horny, why won't she initiate something with me, since I've made it clear that I would prefer to have sex more often? Does she prefer it to me? Because of my worries, I've been curious to see when she uses it. I know it's not healthy and it's a violation of her privacy, but my curiosity gets the better of me. She often uses it once or twice a week, like she said, in the morning when I'm taking our kids to daycare. If she wanted to, she could wait the 15 minutes it takes for me to run them there, and then we'd be home alone and could have sex. She's used it on mornings after we had sex, that she had said was good, and on mornings after she had turned me down for sex. I also feel like she is less likely to have sex with me the day of her using it. These make me feel like she prefers it to me. Combine that with me nearly always initiating and being the more affectionate one, I struggle mentally with the situation.
Wow.
How do I get over this? I know there's nothing wrong with her masturbating and it is none of my business, but I can't get over the feeling of inadequacy. I feel like her using it is a wasted opportunity to be intimate with me. I have done some reading that is not necessarily the case for women. I need to just get comfortable with it in my head, and any advice to that end would be helpful, because I feel like it's starting to cause me to struggle in bed due to a lack of confidence.
Yeah,
I think he says here, I know there's nothing wrong with her masturbating. I don't think he knows that there's nothing wrong with her masturbating.
No. Well, I don't think I don't think that he's putting the two together. So I don't think he thinks there's a problem with her masturbating. It's the why would she want to when he's there? That's what it is. Is that the
means
problem?
That means there's something wrong masturbating. Hey, there's nothing wrong with you doing this, but you should never want to do this. You should just do it with me. Again, nothing wrong with you wanting to do it. Not even my business. But why are you doing it without me?
Yeah.
It sounds like there's a problem with her masturbating.
Okay.
But he doesn't want it to be a problem.
Yeah.
But he's having confidence issues in bed.
He needs the ego check. That's all.
He made every point of her masturbating to be about him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's
And
all.
that might be one of the reasons why she doesn't want that. He said, I have no problem going down on her without even expecting anything back. Which means he typically expects something back.
Yeah, but no, it's still him though.
It's every part of it. It's about
she's
him.
allowed to get pleasure as long as he's the one initiating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like that.
Well,
Men and women.
Well, okay.
How should he get over it?
Go talk to somebody. I don't know.
He's talking to us. He's talking to the black kids.
He's not talking to us. He's talking to just random.
He wants the black kids POV.
I think.
He said, I don't want to hear from that therapist guy. Let me hear from Mrs. Sawyer.
No, you might need to talk to a therapist on that one because there's something more there. Let his wife be free. I mean, it's not like she not having sex with him. He said he had about 3 times a week. Chill out.
He wants 7 times a week. Well, really, he wants every day, multiple times a day.
Well, it might be more for her than just sex with him. Just he says that she likes to do it when he takes the kids to the daycare. So it's like it's her by herself and she's got freedom.
We've got another one about body autonomy. Am I the asshole for performing in front of the camera my mom forced me to have in my room? I'm a 17-year-old guy, and my mom has always been a bit overprotective. Recently, she took it to the next level by insisting on putting a surveillance camera in my room for my safety.
Oh my.
I found it super invasive and uncomfortable, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. So, in an act of defiance, I decided to jerk off right in front of the camera every day for a week.
Wow.
I figured if she wanted to invade my privacy, she'd have to deal with the consequences. I made sure to look directly into the camera, making it clear that I knew it was there and I didn't care. After a week, my mom came to me furious. She had finally watched the footage and saw what I'd been doing. She said she was absolutely disgusted and yelled at me for being disrespectful and said I was acting like a child. I told her that if she wanted to invade my privacy, she had to be prepared for what she might see. She took the camera down immediately, but now she's giving me the silent treatment and acting like I'm the bad guy. My dad thinks I went too far, and I think he secretly finds it funny, but he also agrees that having a camera in my room was too much. My sister won't even talk to me anymore after my mom told her what I had done, but my friends think it's hilarious and say my mom got what she deserved. I'm not sure how to feel. Am I the asshole?
No.
He's a child, and she thinks he's acting like a child. Okay.
A 17-year-old child.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't think that one's funny.
You don't think that's funny?
Because there's something wrong with that mom.
Yes, there's something wrong with the mom. That's what I'm saying.
This kid's 17, right?
Yes. What?
Cameras have existed this kid's entire life.
Yes.
So I didn't need to surveil you 0 through 16. But at 17, for your safety.
Now I need to see what's
in there. And then, if it's for his safety and his security, he didn't watch it for a week.
Why is she watching it though?
Why? No, that's not the question. Why is it there?
Yeah, no. It's
for his safety.
It being there is bizarre, but like, why are you watching the footage?
Why is it there? Why does the footage exist?
That's crazy. So what? She like scheduled time to sit there and look at the video. Like that's bizarre.
I can't speak to it.
Bizarro.
I just think it's nuts.
Well, that's what she got.
I think it's hella nuts. Wow, you and these nut puns and double entendres. What is going on today?
Oh, she got to see all the nuts she want.
You are loving this.
I thought that's pretty funny. You know the father is cracking up. You know she got so mad with the dad because the dad died laughing.
I think the dad's full of shit though.
Ridiculous.
I think the dad's full of shit.
What?
The fuck you putting a camera in this kid's room?
How did he allow it to go through? Yeah.
Hey, and just for safety, there is no camera in the sister's room.
That's what I was gonna say. This is
that was asked and answered. There is no camera in the sister's room. So then
why would you put one in the She must think about something else. No, there's more to the
Drugs.
story. Yeah, he must have been like
is he sneaking people in?
Yeah, he must have been doing some other stuff.
But I don't know that a camera was the answer.
Yeah, well, you can put the camera on the outside of the door and the outside of the window, whatever it is. It has to be inside the door. That's what I'm saying.
They don't put cameras in jail cells.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You can put it on the outside.
A lot of people said she may have produced child porn.
Oh, that is true.
That's as asinine as putting the camera. She better
have deleted it.
As asinine as putting the camera in the room is, she didn't create child porn.
She didn't create it, but she had it though.
They collaborated.
She had it.
But she did But what did she think? He wasn't going to shower? He wasn't going to get dressed?
And she watched.
There's something unhinged going on with this mom.
Yeah, so I'm saying there must be more reason why she did that.
Well, it's funny you say that because I didn't have it before, but guess what I got now?
What?
There's an update.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone. As you know from my last post, I jerked it in front of a surveillance camera my mom put in my room as a way to really get the message across that I wasn't going to take that type of treatment. So today, after I got home from work, I sat down to have a conversation with my mom. Initially, she ignored me and tried to avoid talking about my smooth strokes. But this kid's on one. But my dad intervened and insisted that we address the situation. Oh, so now dad talks.
Now
okay.
he has a voice.
Firstly, I apologize for my actions. While some of you believe I did nothing wrong, I recognize there were better ways to communicate my frustration that didn't involve tricking my mom into seeing me butt naked with a log in my hand. However, I emphasize that her treatment towards me has been unfair and unnecessary. At 17, nearing adulthood, I believe I deserve more privacy and trust, not less. My dad supported me, pointing out that approaching the issue with more openness could have avoided the situation altogether. Mm-hmm. My mom surprised me by apologizing too, admitting that she feared losing control over me and worried I might, quote, fall from grace like my older brother, who has gone no contact with our family due to his views on Mormonism.
Oh.
Okay. Now we're getting to it.
Okay.
She confessed that she had already begun arranging a marriage for me in an attempt to keep me grounded within the church, which had only added to my anxiety.
Oh.
Sorry that there was no crazy new moments in this update, but I feel like these stories are much better when there is an honest, good ending. It just goes to show how many problems can be fixed with good, honest communication between one another. Oh, and also, I'm going to speak to my sister soon, and if anything interesting happens, I'll leave it for another update.
Oh, see? I told you there was more.
There's the extra. There's the more. Look at you.
There's more.
See, you be knowing shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See, you're not getting it by Mrs. Sawyer. Mrs. Sawyer knows. That's wild.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I don't want to lose my son. I'm not going to pray. That's something I would do because I go to church. Talk to him. No, that's crazy. Therapy, that's stupid. Let's record him. Let's record him.
And watch it.
People and bodies, bodies and people. Am I the asshole for leaving my wife after she got pregnant by a revenge affair? Y'all gonna learn to stop. One day, y'all are gonna learn to stop. My wife revenge cheated on me and she got pregnant. I am snipped. So I asked her what happened and she fessed up that she was angry at my cheating and did it herself. She said it was awful and that dude took the condom off midway. She said she was so shocked that she couldn't say anything to me. We live in a conservative state where abortion is banned, and we both don't believe in abortion as a form of birth control. I told her that she can travel to another state if she wants to have an abortion. Just don't tell me anything about it, and I will pretend I never had any discussion regarding it. She has decided against it. She says she is scared to have an abortion. I told her that then the solution is a divorce because I am not going to raise an affair baby with her. She is saying she made a mistake, and she will do anything to make up to me. I just want to be done with it. Edit, I am not religious. I am just not at ease with the idea of abortion, and I feel that they should be as rare as possible. Yeah, I think that's an ETA, babe. Everyone's the asshole here. And this poor baby.
Yeah, I feel bad. You know, that's all that's where my mind goes right away is the poor baby. But I don't know that I call him the asshole. Did he cheat on her too?
It's revenge cheating.
Oh, that's what that means.
He literally said she was upset about my cheating.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
So he's cheating.
Everyone's asshole.
So she cheats because he cheats.
Asshole. Everyone's asshole.
She says he took off the condom halfway.
Not just the baby. You need to be checking for other stuff. People think just
these people think it's only baby. It's only babies. No, you
need to think about what else you got. Like, no. Yeah, I agree with you. ETA.
Everybody's the asshole here.
Except for the baby. Poor baby. That's rough. People just don't think about their actions have consequences. Oh.
I think.
My God.
I think marriage is not working for them because the thought we're both against abortion, but you can get an abortion, but you just got to drive to another state and don't tell me, and I'm going to pretend like we never talked about
like
it.
what does that make it?
What?
Ooh. It's like in Men in Black. Remember the little thing that erased your thing?
It doesn't move, but I know what you're talking about. The neuralizer.
Yeah.
You want to know something? I just read. Will Smith did a performance of the Men in Black theme song, like in the last few weeks. It was like a secret, surprise thing, and then at the end, he used a neuralizer so that no one would know about it. It might not have worked because I found out.
Yeah. Don't tell me about it. So it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Which is probably how he felt about his cheating, and it's just
Oh, because I'm snipped. So that's not everything.
yeah.
No.
Snipped yet still a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone's the asshole.
Yep.
And I think they're children that act impulsively and don't think about.
I agree.
Revenge cheating is really toxic. A lot of these stories trying to control people's bodies, that's just really toxic.
It is.
It kind of leads me to a toxic confession. I feel like I think that's the only thing. You don't even want to do the podcast. You just want to hear me say that. I thought the grass was greener at another woman's house, and I foolishly left my wife for a month. My wife told me if I attended the Wednesday night church with her, I could come back home. Church was packed. The preacher said, "Don't worry about going to hell. All the devils are here, and we're exposing these devils tonight." I should have bolted for the door, but my wife wanted me there. The choir sang a haunting song, "Truth cleanses the sin away." What the F? Now I knew why the church was packed. In therapy, you sit in a circle and tell your dirt. At Pastor's Wednesday Cleanse, your significant other tells your dirt. My wife testified about my affair, and I felt so low. I wanted to melt into a puddle and slide under the door.
Oh, wow.
I apologized with tears streaming down my face. She forgave me and asked the congregation to pray for our marriage. I felt cleansed until two women accused my wife of sending nudes and offering blowjobs to their husbands.
Oh, wow.
The men turned her down, so she didn't apologize. A third woman caught her man with my wife.
Oh,
During that
wow.
woman's testimony, my wife shouted, "It ain't your turn, Brenda." Then my wife stood up and left. She refuses to discuss this. Advice?
Oh, yeah. I need to find a good divorce lawyer.
Just throw it away.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what? You know who we need to be sponsored by? A divorce lawyer.
Yeah.
We're going to start it off
I'm
with
telling
therapy
you.
if you want to work it out. We're going to end it with just end it.
I might need to go do that. You think I could become a divorce attorney?
Why don't we team up?
I think I could become a
I'll be the
divorce
marriage counselor.
and I'll be the
It's
divorce
working out.
attorney.
They're going this way. It's not working out. I got a referral for you.
I think
What are we?
That's
Hey, these stories take a turn sometimes.
not your turn, Brenda.
These stories take a turn.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That is basura.
bad human. That's a bad human.
I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it there.
Oh.
What have we learned about body autonomy?
I don't know. You put some heavy stuff in my head today.
It's not just jokes.
I know.
It's not just the tee-hees and giggles.
I know.
Giggles and tee-hees.
Yeah.
It's
I
also
prefer
the-
tee-hees and giggles.
Yeah, but I do like talking about things that real people are going through. Like in a previous episode,
fair.
we discussed that those sisters that were in the religion that one felt was a cult and the other one wanted to stay in.
Oh, yeah. Those are real things.
Those honey,
Yeah, those are real things.
I've talked with a lot of people who have been through that.
Yeah. I think we're in this divisive grip of world where we want to say people have the choice and right to do all, but then not everyone respects that, and then it just becomes then a sneaky thing, and then it's just untruths, and then it's a problem. I think there's room really for people to and do what they want, and there's people who are supplemental to that and do what you want, or accepting that that's what you didn't want. But I think they think too much people try to force things that aren't there. And that's where you have this problem.
I agree with you.
But I think there's space, if it's done right, for everyone to just be themselves.
I think the problem comes when there are many who want to control how you are yourself.
Yes. That's the problem.
So, no. My wife can masturbate, but she shouldn't because I should be there.
Yeah, I'm there.
I'm like, why would you ever want to?
Yeah.
I mean, just the way he wrote that, he sounds like a lot.
Yes.
And maybe, as I have said many times, a lot of people turn to porn because they do not have the capacity, the desire, the will to negotiate sex with another person. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but that is a reason. So if I'm thinking about her, maybe she doesn't want to deal with all this shit
think it's
about
more.
him.
I think it's more. I think there's a part there where he talks about that it's when he takes the kids to school and she has those 15 minutes of just her time. And that's what she chooses to do with her time. It's nothing to do with him. There's no kids.
But that's the problem.
Like, it's just her time.
But he's viewing, you know how kids only view their teachers? Like kids think teachers are the light in the refrigerator. And when I look at it, that's when it matters.
Yeah.
Right? They don't believe teachers exist outside of school.
Yeah, no. They don't have lives. Are you kidding me? No.
But they live there.
You're here for me.
They walk in the room, the teacher's there.
Yeah.
They leave, the teacher's there. The teacher just lives there.
Yeah.
And I think he views his wife, his wife's sexuality as about him.
Yeah. Bang bang.
Why would look at you learning shit. Why would you need the sex if I'm not there? Like, why would?
And the way he put what he said is a new vibrator. So does she have an old one? Like, there's so much in here. So I think from what I learned here, it's just like people have to let people be who they are. And if you are what you are, you shouldn't have to sneak and hide what that is, because of that person should be accepting of who you are. And if they're not, then maybe that's not your person.
But then are you supposed to accept everything
of that person? I think.
Hey, you know what, hon? You know what? I'm into heroin now. And I just do heroin. Oh, no, why aren't you accepting me?
No. Because that's a deal breaker for me.
Oh, okay. I accept that that's a deal breaker for you. I'm still doing this brown sugar, though.
Then we're not together.
Okay.
You're not doing that, so.
I'm not? Really? I'm not going to go do heroin? That's not the...
Yeah, so I'm good. I think that's really what it is.
Okay, then what about, is there room for people to grow?
Yeah.
Now,
but sometimes you grow out.
Okay, what's the difference between growing apart and switching up? Because some people, I hear this all the time. He was so attentive. He listened. He was the best. We were married for 2 years and he just changed. Hell, last week I heard we were married for 6 months and, less than 4 months. We were married for less than 4 months and he just, gotcha. And the real him started coming out. So did he grow or did he switch up?
Or did you not pay attention to before you got married?
Honey, I'm a big believer of that. But there are people
I agree.
That are
agree.
They are chameleons.
I don't,
and they will show you one thing until a certain point. And that certain point could be 3 years in.
Again, I think those are different type of people. And I think also
Janet Jackson.
What happened?
What she do? Gay?
Oh, no. You know how I feel about that movie.
Okay. They'd been married how long? She had no clue.
Okay. But then that's not
He didn't grow.
But
he switched up.
That was a deal breaker for her.
Well, I mean, he gave her HIV.
Yeah, but it was a deal breaker for her. I mean, I'm just saying. I think some people that switch or that grow, they're okay with it. Okay. But for others, oh no.
So if I grow into the heroin,
no, that's not going to happen. Not for me.
So it can happen, and you're accepting of it happening.
Yeah, but that's not with me.
It is a deal breaker for you.
Correct.
I don't think most people look at it that way. I think most people look at it, well, no, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm going to stay in this situation.
And fix you.
Fix you, complain about you, revenge you.
Or I don't accept that, but it's better than being alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough being alone, honey.
Yeah, I know.
It's very tough. I don't want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone, but
I can be alone. I do not want to be alone.
I hear you. That's why you don't have to. And guess what I did? I made reservations for tomorrow.
Good job.
For you and me.
Good job.
Just you and me.
Good job.
Because you're not alone.
Another day is gone.
Another day is gone for what?
I'm still alone.
No, you're not.
How could this be? That you're not here with us. Okay. It's a deep one.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep, we're gonna wrap it up.
You want a 55-minute episode. I want an episode that flows and it ends when it ends. If it ends at 45 minutes, cool. If it ends at an hour and 45 minutes, cool. You want 50 minutes or less.
Yeah, I don't. I think that's just a preference. I mean, I'm good going longer if you like to go longer, but this, I don't like listening to go into long things.
I don't like
when
to
I'm
go
listening
longer.
to podcasts. I don't like long ones.
I don't like going longer. I like letting the conversation lead where it goes.
Yeah, but we also read stories, so there's a point where you can stop reading stories.
We stopped reading stories how long ago? And you brought up a very interesting take, and I love hearing your takes.
Well, okay. Take us
I
away.
bet you right now we'll turn this off. We'll go out there. I'll play the Bomb Chicka Wow Wow song, and we'll see what happens then. And I bet you we'll keep talking about some of the takes you mentioned. I found them very interesting. I could have another conversation with you just on what you said there.
I'm sure we
I
will.
have a lot of thoughts on them.
Yeah. And I think we will.
And sometimes we just keep the camera rolling.
Oh, well, I don't.
I'm not saying now. No,
Okay,
we're wrapping
good.
this up. This is
I'm
a
ready to
This is
wrap
done.
up. I'm ready to go chill out.
Okay. Bomb Chicka Wow Wow.
Bound chicka wow.
Ladies,
wow.
gents, my NBs, thank you for joining us. It's another episode of The Only Black Kids in the Class. Please, 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 please. If you made it this far, you know you're locked in, and we appreciate it. Now go let Spotify, YouTube, and Apple know that you're locked in.
And
you
Google.
Enjoy. No, they're gone. They're gone. It's a wrap.
Oh, okay.
Done. Let them know you enjoy The Only Black Kids in the Class.
Bye-bye.